Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We got an amazing show for you guys today. So today we're doing a weekend update. So every week we do these every Sunday morning. Kind of just go over what is going on. Maybe you missed something Friday night. Maybe you missed something on Saturday, and this kind of catch you up for the week that's coming. Just so you guys know, on Wednesday we the markets will be closed for Juneteenth, but we'll still be running just because the traditional market shut down don't mean Bitcoin does. So we'll be here for that. So I just want to give you guys, make sure you guys know for that. Should be a good one because that is a federal holiday, but Bitcoin's still open. But let's get the show started here. I'm bringing my partner here as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's going on?
What's going on? So how's your weekend so far? We did have something fun with Jack Lowe Friday.
Yeah, that was awesome. But first, I want to give a shout out to the Meta Pandas. I got my Ordinal Revolution Meta Panda shirt. Order it from our store, and it's really dope. You can see it looks really kind of silver because the green screen. But back to Friday. Friday was really awesome. There was a little bit of awkwardness. It was a lot of fun. We were able to really get. I feel like we got to know Jack definitely, like on a deeper level. Definitely changed my perception of him as a person for sure. And I think we went for about an hour, had 700 plus people watching live. So it was a great show, great, audience. And we had some interaction as well.
Yeah, it was very out of nowhere, right? Jack hit us up. We're supposed to do a recording, how we normally do, but he came in and he was like, "Let's do it live." He's like, "I'm tired of this, unfun telling my story thing. I want to have fun. I want to do my live." At the comments coming in, let's screw it, let's do it. So we just went and did it. And I'm thinking now, I mean, we talked about it before. We should start doing all of our interviews like that. They're fun. So if the person we're doing it with is down for it, we should definitely consider it because it did really well.
Yeah, 100%. It was very fun. That is for sure.
Yeah, man. So, today is Father's Day. So, shout out Mr. Yen, the greatest father of all time. So, I just wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Yen real quick before we get going here. Be like Mr. Yen. Be like Mr. Yen.
For sure. For sure. And you were able to accomplish your by Father's Day goal. I know it was that you were going to dump it on Father's Day, but you did reach a pretty good milestone with the price point there. And so, it hit the goal. I think maybe we were talking about it getting a little bit higher, but I mean 38 cents was the top. So that's not bad for this little first run up.
No, I got lucky. Obviously I got in at like 4 cents and sold at 18 cents. And then I got back in at 11 cents and sold at 33 cents. And now I'm looking for another entry to get back in, Mr. Yen. So please dump your yen, please, so I can buy it. So Father's Day, dump it down. So
it's been a good one to trade. That's for sure. Spot trade.
It has. Yep, for sure. And that's what I've been doing with a lot of my runes, man. I just kind of this isn't the euphoria moment, right? So I don't want to hold anything that's not like dog and like a few other things. So for me, these highly risk ones like Mr. Yen, I just kind of get in and get out, and I'm just hoping it doesn't run without me on this next run. But that's the risk that I'm taking here. So obviously, timing the market is hard. Time in the market is better. So if you are holding it for the long term, good for you. You'll probably do really well. But for me, I like to just get as much Bitcoin as I can. But jumping here to our stories here, Donald Trump says he will end Joe Biden's war on crypto and ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in America. I absolutely love this. I am a one issue voter, and that issue is Bitcoin. With Biden done and Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren done over the last 2-3 years was really pushed America backwards. If you go to a lot of sites, it'll still say because you're an American you can't use this, right? So which is sad. because as an American, you should be able to use every site, so it's one of those things where, our freedom of speech was taken from us in crypto. And I think Donald Trump here, and he's running on it. It looks like he's going to be pro Bitcoin in the next 4 years. If he wins, is going to be very good for Bitcoin and crypto.
Yeah, that is exciting that he's taking this approach, right? This stance. Ryan Selkis, I think, is the guy's name on Twitter. I could be pronouncing his last name incorrectly.
Yeah, you're right.
I apologize. He has been really involved with trying to get his foot into doors in DC, and he's been doing it for the past 2 years that I've noticed.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really gotten him very far, even though he's had a lot of effort. And I say that because he's had to pivot into, well, not necessarily pivot. It's an opportunity to get connected with the former president of the United States that is a candidate this upcoming election.
Yeah.
Built a very strong relationship, and I think he's educating him. He's part of the group that's educating him, along with Bitcoin Magazine, I think. But that guy, Ryan, I think a lot of people have to give him a lot of credit because he's been doing this for 2 years, trying to knock on doors. And I said he didn't get very far. He obviously did. Like he fit 21 bill, and that got through. So I'm just excited about what this is doing to politics in our country, because it's actually pushing the other side and saying, they're now saying is, oh, we can't miss out on this because they're raising so much money and they just have a lot of support now. So I think eventually both sides realize that it's inevitable that they have to buy into this.
Yeah, you got to remember Biden. He vetoed Bit21 recently. So it's just funny. It's like you can't watch what they say; you got to watch what they do, right? But it did get pushed through, but it had to go back. It had to go back to the House. He never approved it.
Yeah, so he vetoed the overturning of SAB 121, which was the SEC's bulletin, but he did say that he would not veto FIT 21 or FIT 21. Okay. And that's the one that did go through, and I think that the Senate just needs to approve it, and it should be law.
All right. Going forward, Sleepy Joe came out and said his administration will be attending the Bitcoin conference in crypto. I just hope they can stay awake for it. I know crypto is very boring and Joe's very sleepy, so we'll see what happens roundtable in July. So
did he say they're gonna attend the Bitcoin conference? I did see the roundtable.
No. This is in Washington. This is something that all the politicians are putting together. It's kind of like they're going to sit down and really kind of talk things through about regulation and stuff like that. This is really, really good. And the fact that Biden is going to be there, it won't be Biden. It'll be someone from his administration. Sorry, someone pulling the strings. They'll probably be there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. But
he'll probably take a photo just for show.
Yeah. Him outside the 6 minutes that he's there. But this is big news. Spot Ethereum ETF projected to launch by July 2nd. So you should see Ethereum trading as an ETF in the upcoming weeks, about 2 weeks from now. So this is big. I mean, obviously we're Bitcoin show here, but if this is really good for altcoins, and a lot of our coins now are considered altcoins. With with Dog and Yen and all the other stuff and Track. So what do you think about this?
I think this is big for the entire space. I don't know how to project how it'll affect the Ethereum space, because the rollout of this is way different than the rollout of the Bitcoin ETF, right?
Yeah.
So this was, let's get it approved out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then hype, and then nothing, because I think a lot of people thought the ETF would be trading in a couple of days of that announcement.
Yep.
And then now it's leading up to this date that it's supposed to start, July 2nd.
Yep.
So, it could be something that we see pretty quickly after it starts, or it could have that same 2-3 week delay that Bitcoin ETF had, which was a substantial uptick after the 2-3 weeks though.
Yeah.
So expectations in this space are always, for the most part, I feel like let down, because hype is so big here and we talk about it and people get excited. Then it doesn't happen, and then maybe it happens like delayed, and then it's kind of like we forgot that event even was a part of that. It's just like now things are going and stuff. So we could see something like that happen here. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see it right away because
Yeah.
we've already been waiting for a while for this. So
100%. And dude, I was looking last night, the Gwei for Ethereum. It's at low. Like it's like at 1 and 2. It's pretty bad. There's nobody transacting on like Ethereum is cheaper than Solana right now. Like it's pretty insane. There's
yeah,
nobody doing transactions on Ethereum. You can do anything you want on Ethereum, super cheap right now. So I just don't know if any people are even using the damn thing anymore.
that's the thing. I wanted your opinion on this
Yeah.
because obviously both of us have a lot of EVM experience. Do you see Ethereum having a resurgence because of their ETF? But would that bring users just because the price goes up?
So in my opinion, there's a DApp that hasn't been dropped yet, right? Whether it's from Vitalik or Andre Cronje for the new Sonic network or something that can get forked over. There's DApps coming, and they're just not here yet. And I think once those DApps come, it's going to get insane. I think they're preparing to drop a whole bunch of DApps at one time, and I think it comes this summer. And I think that could bring people back to Ethereum. Nobody's going to Curve to earn 2%, right? No one's going to Aave to earn 6%. No one's doing these things. They're very traditional type of finance things now. Like they're just not, they're not giving you that Ponzi type of yield anymore, right? So no one's getting out of bed and running over the computer to do something on Ethereum, right? They just have their stuff in there and it's earning, and they're not claiming, it's just earning, right? You get your Ethereum, you're earning 5% on it, so there's nothing to do. But I think some DApps are coming, and I think once that do, you can really open things up on over there. But if I'm wrong and there's no DApps coming, I mean Ethereum, I mean you can't. I don't care what the price is if there's nothing happening on chain. Bitcoin's different. Bitcoin is not only a store of value; it's a hedge against inflation. It's decentralization, so you can get away with nothing happening on the chain, but there is stuff happening on the chain as well. So it's one of those things where it's going to be a Bitcoin summer for sure, as long as if they don't drop some amazing DApps, which I think they will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just interesting because, like you said, the users are not using it right now. But we'll see what happens. If, like you said, there could be. I'm sure there's a lot of dApps in multiple ecosystems that are waiting for the right time to release stuff. And so right now just doesn't seem to be that time.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like everyone built chains, right? There's like 700 chains. Nobody built dApps. Like there's 30, 40, 50 chains that are actually like usable, and there's no dApps for any of them. It's like eventually these guys who are building these chains are going to eventually have to build some kind of dApp soon, right? So I think that comes. I just think that that a lot of people, they want it, Aptos and Sui and all this other crap that just came over the last couple of months and years, and there's no dApps for any of them. There's no on-chain volume on anything right now. And there's no dApps. It's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on here. It was an 86-minute block yesterday, and I had the pleasure of waiting for my track because I bought some track yesterday. I was waiting for my track to clear because these days, if you buy something, you don't know if you're going to get it, right? Because the mempool sniping and stuff. So I'm sitting there, I saw it at like 10 minutes. I was like, all right, cool. I'll probably get this soon. And then I checked back and it was like a half hour. I still didn't get my track. And I'm like, damn, dude, did I get sniped for this? And then it would just look back. It was okay. The block was still going 30 minutes, and then check back in an hour, and I'm like, "There's no way I didn't get my track yet." So I'm furious, thinking I got sniped, and the block still didn't go through. And then I finally gave up, went back, and then I saw that it was an 86-minute block, and I was
That's
like, "Holy
crazy."
crap!" But I eventually got my track. Like, could you imagine being new and being like, "Did I lose like all my money?" Because I put like 3-4 grand in the track yesterday, and it just wasn't going.
Yeah. Well, you would get your money back minus the fees, but
yes, but I'm just saying, imagine just not knowing for like it being
yeah.
new and just being like, what is going on? And so
I haven't heard many people get sniped on BRC20s though. Like purchases, not minting. Minting for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I just
yeah.
haven't heard it, and I don't know if that's just because it hasn't been as popular and people aren't going for it as much, but I just haven't heard anybody get sniped on it. But I imagine that someone can hijack your PSBT and do it, but
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like there's no hype for BRC20s right now at all besides pizza. I'm sure there's some pizza snipings were happening, but for anything else, like why would someone snipe my track if you can go buy another one for almost the same price, right? But like
Mhm.
when I bought it though, the prices did get eaten up the same time I did, so I was worried that because I got in at like 133 or 134, and then when I checked again, it was at 145. So I was like, damn, that might have got me sniped. But it didn't. I got my track and good. But is this? I mean, 86-minute block. Is it like? Is this something that's gonna like stop bringing new people in? Can we
I mean, it doesn't
be?
happen very often, right? And so not that
No, that's
long,
true. Yeah,
so it's I don't know. It's dependent upon the algorithm, right? Like,
yeah,
or the problem that the miner has to solve, and it gets more the difficulty level increases as there's easier blocks that go through, right?
yeah,
So, I just think it's kind of like one of those one-off things, but it can be frustrating. Like yesterday, I was minting for fun,
yeah,
and I could see like whenever you see your arrow at the very back of the block
yeah,
starting to
yeah,
fade back there, you're like, oh my god, come on!
yeah,
You're like talking to the mempool, and
yeah.
but it's not working, and yeah, it can be very frustrating.
Yeah.
That's but at the end of the day, it's the beauty of Bitcoin security and stuff
Yes,
like that.
that's true.
So I think we just got to really be patient on the innovations that are going to be coming in the future. Programmability, I think, is going to be a big thing for meta protocols. If we don't get opcodes added to Bitcoin Core, and we're just going to see where this takes us, right? Because if it doesn't
100%.
take us super far, this might just be a hype train in this cycle, and then Bitcoin's back to its counterparty days. But I just don't see
Yep.
that because there's too much invested, too many communities over here now.
Yep.
So just I think we just got to be a little bit patient, and we'll figure out ways to get around these long blocks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, just like Casey figured out a way to get around, being able to add art on Bitcoin
Yeah.
and fungible tokens eventually.
Yep. I
Domo.
agree. Innovation's definitely coming. Whether that's well, that's one thing. But the opcode is it'll be able to bridge off, right? You'll be able to bridge off pretty easily and still be on Bitcoin. So, but we'll see.
Yep.
All right, we'll jump into some Bitcoin price action here, if that's
All
all right
right.
with you, kind sir. Kind of see what the
Yep.
king
Yep.
is doing, what he's up to. How was the weekend? Because I haven't really looked on the weekends, dude. I obviously look at the price of dog, but I don't really look at the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I have two charts here. I have the 1 hour chart. So we'll start there. It's a shorter time frame, can kind of predict the second, like a 12-hour time period here of what is possibly to come. You can see the buy pressure started. Ooh, I did not mean to make that happen. The buy pressure started. Let's see, about 2 days ago. Goodness gracious,
Wow.
not 2 days ago. It was like Friday at 7 p.m. Central, right? But it's continued. It's never went back to sell pressure, which is pretty crazy. So all weekend, but it never like shot up super high. It was just really ranging back and forth. You can see here it's very flat. But one thing that I did say on Friday was on Sunday, we see it typically on Sundays, it can pick back up. And it seems like that's what's happening right now, right? Even though like we are coming out of overbought territory, heading down a little bit, we're at 66,600. And on Friday, if you remember, we were at 65,500 around there. So yesterday was more of a range back and forth, really boring if you're a trader. So that's what the short term looks like. Possibly coming down here, maybe back to the low 66,000, and then bouncing back up again because it is, a $8 to $12 hour time frame that it can predict. But if we go to the 4 hour, which it predicts the next 2 or 3 days, I like this time frame for 2 days ahead. This was the one that I was talking about on Friday, right? So I said at this point we were sitting at 70,000 on June 10th, right? It showed that we crashed here and then pulled back up here on the 12th and then crashed again after the information that we got from last week, and then kind of just been stair stepping down. Now, we haven't been in overbought territory though since June 5th, right? So this is the first time we're back in this overbought territory. So this could be a good thing because we could hang out up here for a little bit. So we could see 67, 68, 69,000 in the next 2 to 3 days, right? It doesn't matter how we finish Sunday, as long as we hang out up here for a bit. I think we could see those numbers in the next 2 to 3 days by Wednesday at least.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that we do bounce back a little bit. Nothing crazy, 67 to 69,000 for the first half of this coming up week.
Yeah, that sounds good. I would like to be up there again, but I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to blast off. Do you see anything in the charts? Maybe the daily, anything like that can kind of get us to maybe blast off.
some positive
sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, if you look here, but the problem with this is the daily chart right here, and I'll tell you what the problem with this one is. This is still very open, but hey, look, we do have our first sign of weakness in the sell pressure here on the MACD. The two lines are a bit far apart. I want to see this close a little bit more. We are in oversold territory. We've been there since the 12th, so about 4 days. Usually once you creep down this low into oversold, you do hang out here for a little bit longer because it doesn't just go down
and then fly back up.
So typically whenever you come down into this oversold territory below 20 on the stochastic RSI, you will hang out here for a little bit, and you can see we first crossed over on the 12th, so it's been about 4 days. So throwing another possibly 3 or 4 days I think would be reasonable of hanging out down here, maybe 2-3 days, so 18th, 19th, and then maybe start to ascend again. So it's kind of lining up, in my opinion, for that last week of June to start to come back up. In terms of blast off, I'm not sure, if it's going to blast off, but that's where our next opportunity. This is the daily chart for that to happen. So, the start could be on the 19th, 20th, and then that last 10 days or so slowly creep into, maybe it goes back and forth 69 to 71, and then beginning of July is that time period where it does blast off, or it just chops back and forth, right? July was Bob Lucas saying the end of July or the beginning of July is whenever things would tip?
He said basically after July 5th.
Okay, so it kind of lines up for that. But yeah, so last week of this month, I do believe that's where our opportunity, if that's going to happen. For this week coming up, I think it's going to be more of getting back in the 68, 69,000 range. So probably not too much excitement for this coming up week, but the following week, I think, is whenever it starts. We'll see, though. Could be completely wrong on that.
For sure. So, we hit on this real quick. Fidelity put out a tweet over the weekend. It said Fidelity Digital Assets tweeted, when the Bitcoin network reached block 840000 on April 19th, it triggered the halving and launched the Runes protocol. So are the boomers about to jump in the rooms?
I don't know if the boomers are going to jump in the runes, but I think something significant comes out of Bitcoin's ecosystem that becomes mainstream. That's for sure. I don't know what that's going to be. They're talking about Runes protocol specifically. So we just need to kind of see what becomes mainstream out of Runes, right? So it could really spark the entire ecosystem of Runes if that happens. And that would be a really good thing for us because we were here early.
100%. So, yeah. So let's go, boomers. Buy some dog and some pizza. Let's go. But speaking of dog and pizza, the charts, dude, are identical. So shout out Jake.sats, Jake Galen, good friend of ours. He posted this and he said, look at this from here to here, because obviously pizza doesn't have this, right? But from here to here, and look how similar that looks the dip.
I mean,
coming.
yeah,
It's
definitely
like,
looks like.
dude,
Um,
like they're following each other identically right now.
yeah, but it's also interesting because it's following it on the tail end of the dog chart.
Yeah.
So it didn't start the same way that dog did, right?
No, it did not. No.
So that's interesting. Obviously, market conditions are similar or the
Yeah.
same for both, but actually, they're a little bit different whenever you get down to the meta protocol level.
Yeah.
Runes
Yeah. Yeah.
is more volume and stuff than BRC20, but hey, that looks very similar, right? The cup and handle forming
Yep.
too. It looks like
It is for both of them. Yep.
so.
You get your cup, your handle.
Yeah, yeah, that's exciting.
Thing.
I think that's
Yeah.
exciting for both sides, right?
Yep. Yeah, so I think dog and pizza are going to lead the markets out of this, and I think that's going to lead the BRC20s and the runes kind of the next layer, and that's perfect timing for tap as well. I think we're about to see a meta protocol explosion. I know runes is considered meta protocol, so secondary protocol, but I think that I think we're about to explode. I think this Bitcoin ecosystem is looking really strong right now. I feel like we're at the bottoms or out of the little out of the bottoms, and I think if you're interested in buying something, I think the time is probably coming up. Not financial advice, but I think runes are really about to take off here.
Yeah, it really is dependent on one of those two things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dog getting listed on Binance or OKX, and or Bitcoin getting past 72,400, really hitting a new all-time high.
Yeah.
It doesn't I think it could either one, not exclusive to each other, could spark that runes ecosystem, but we need at least one of those things happening.
I
um
agree.
yeah, so in your opinion, do you feel like dog and pizza are, if you were to pick two kings in our fungible token ecosystem, those are the two kings right now?
I wouldn't call them kings, but I'll definitely call them the leaders. I'll definitely call them the bitcoins of their ecosystems. For sure. I think that BRC20s won't run without Ordi and Pizza, and Dog and the runes really won't run without Bamk and Dog. And I think them two are kind of the leaders in their respective ecosystem. So I think but it really takes for the king. The king has to go up first, and then these guys can run afterwards. But it's just funny. It's Ordi Pizza, Dog, and Banked kind of leading the show right now. So
Yeah. So that's interesting that you said that. So you feel like pizza is taking that number two spot over Sats?
100%. Pizza was going to take the Ordi spot as well.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
It's
makes you
all
say
about
that?
if you know me by now, I'm always on to the next one, right? I kind of leave the old stuff in the past, and I think everything's broken down in its own cycles, right? Its own miniature cycles, and I think we're about to enter the next one, and people want that new shiny thing. I mean, Ordi's old. Ordi will always be like a legacy token, and I think that I think buying Ordi was definitely a leverage play on Bitcoin, but at the same time, I think pizza will have way more X's, and people know that. People know that dog and pizza are gonna have way more X's than Ordi and Sats for sure. I mean, there's not. I mean, Ordi has to go up. If Ordi went up 10x, it'd be a $10 billion project. If pizza went up 10x, it's just $1 billion project, right? So I think that's you have to be realistic about how much money is actually in this ecosystem.
Yeah. I think those are really good points. There's probably some people that would protect their bags on Sats on that. Just
100%. And
because.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're bad. That's what bag holders do, right? So,
Yeah. 100%.
all right, real quick here. Let me shout out my boy Bito Ordleone. He changed his name. It's not Corleone anymore. It's Ordleone. So shout out to him. He had this amazing article, guys. Go check this out. It really kind of goes through the tooling on runes and some really good stuff in here. So I started digging in, and I found there was a couple of really good projects from this article, and I want to dig into them real quickly. And one of them here, it's called back Ordinal Genesis. Shout out to these guys. They're really making something really cool here. All right, here we go. Is this one right here? All right, yeah, here it is. Ordinal Genesis, one of the earliest ordinal studios specializing in ordinal and rune DApp solutions. We're an innovative studio with one of the biggest ordinal launchpads and the first runes launchpad. We make our creations come to reality. So you look at here, has a really good main page, and you come down to here, and this is what got me. So you go to the launchpad, and their launchpad is awesome. Obviously, there's some in here that are whitelisted, but just a few. But you can come in here, and I'll put this in the show notes for you guys. You can come in here and you can just claim these runes, or if you are interested, you can make your own claim. If you have a token and you want mint the entire supply, and you can just dump the supply in here and let people come in and claim them. Really cool launchpad. I love how it works. It's phenomenal looking. The UI is amazing. Yeah, I'm very impressed by what I see with this.
Yeah, I was too. Whenever you first showed me this, it was really amazing, and I'm surprised that no one else had came up with this concept before. But I think it works very well, or I would at least like the concept of it, right? I think that it's going to be utilized more and more as time goes on, and I'm excited to see what comes out of this. Like what's the first big token that's going to come out of this? Because I think that there's going to be one, and yeah, it's really cool to see like people, builders in our space, create tools like this. We need more and more of this kind of stuff.
Exactly. This looks fun. I have not connected my wallet. I have not claimed anything. Do your own research first. Use a wallet that you don't have a lot in. Use a burner wallet if you can. Just be careful, be safe out there. I don't know, if this is legit, but I'm pretty sure Beto wouldn't oppose it if he didn't think so either. So definitely check this out. They do have another thing over here. It's the ordinal stuff. So you can kind of come in here, and you do have to pay a little bit for them, for this one anyway. But you can claim ordinals as well, which is pretty cool. So
gotcha. What do you mean you have to pay a little bit, like the mint fee and stuff like that?
So this is coming at 0.00044. So I'm guessing if you went in here and you minted it cost you 0.004.
Gotcha.
So there's prices on these ones.
Yeah, the mint prices. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you do have to do that. But it's, again, really amazing launch pad. Bullish on these guys, man, for sure. This is awesome. So I was continuing down my journey of Beto's thing there, and I found another one. It was called SatOC, and another really cool one site. But it's a cool dashboard. You can kind of see everything that's minting right now. Like its hats stays on bro and stuff like that. Like I don't know, really cool downward dog cat and stuff like that. So I have not connected my wallet to any of this stuff, but it's here. And then you go to click ordinals, and then you can kind of see what's minting as well on this other stuff. So, but yeah, man, or you could mint here and stuff like that. Really cool. They do have a launch pad as well, where you can put your collection here, and they can take care of it for you. So, shout out to them. And the last one I want to hit was called Miner Fee. And again, another minting site. Like a lot of these are popping up where you can kind of mint and stuff like that. So, yeah. So check out Beto's article here. Take a look at some of these dApps and stuff that are launching. I think we got to stay ahead of what's happening, because if we don't, they'll be left behind. I think everything's going to happen really quickly, and people are going to be like, "Yo, where did you do that at?" And it's probably going to be something that many people are not seeing. Obviously, we know about Magic Eden, we know about Luminex, but these other things, I guess you can call them applications. The other applications, because they're not DeFi, but these other applications are really going to show some cool stuff. So check that out.
Yep, for sure, man.
All right. Jumping down to our next thing here. So I was doing some due diligence. So I went to the Binance app. I typed in dog, and dog popped up. I went on Coinbase app, and I typed in dog, and dog popped up. So you can't buy them on those sites yet, but they are now tracking them. And I noticed when before Bonk got listed, they got tracked on Coinbase as well. You could see Bonk for the first time like a month or two before it could show it. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know if Coinbase goes over CoinMarketCap and kind of just takes in whatever they have there, but I know that dog wasn't there a few weeks ago, and it's there now. So pretty big. Just go to Coinbase, type in dog, go to Binance, type in dog, and the charts pop up. It's pretty amazing. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, Coinbase is tracking Ordi and Sats as well. So I think it's just coin market cap data probably that they're pulling from their API or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this is that big of a deal. But more than that, I think it's whenever Binance is like writing blogs or articles about these type of tokens, that's whenever I think like the more they focus on those kind of things, and they keep bringing up like dog's name, I think that's whenever we'll probably get closer to it. I don't know. Right now, it's very kind of mysterious on how Binance is going to approach it, because they do have the connection with Unisat. They do have BRC20s on their exchange. I don't know. They haven't listed any runes, and other than RuneCoin being on OKX, and that was most likely due to a deal that had happened, to where they gave them a certain amount of capital, or liquidity. That's the only one. So runes hasn't had its moment yet, in that perspective, because Ordi didn't get listed on Binance until after the summer, right? But when it really did, that was like the big moment for BRC20s. And then Sats gets listed 2 weeks later, I believe, maybe 3 weeks later. And now at that point you had 2 BRC20s on Binance. So I feel like it's going to be something similar to that situation.
I agree. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Real quick, guys, just wanted to hit on this. So I listened to the track or tap the spaces, because they do their show when we're doing ours. So I missed it live, but I went back and listened to it. And so the first pre-sale round will go live on the Track Systems website at the end of June. So they're saying June 30th, but I'm sure there'll be another announcement. So what this is you're gonna have 10 rounds of buying. So the first round is gonna be 100, and then that gets sold out. You got to wait till the second round, and then it'll be 500 and 10 and 1,000, and all the way to like 10,000 will be the round 10. And so you're gonna be able to buy them, right? And what they do, this will be rewarded in tap tokens, approximately 10 to 15% ABY. So the longer you hold these validators, the more tap tokens you will receive. So you're giving your track up to get this validator that decentralizes the track ecosystem, and kind of gives you voting rights and stuff like that on the decentralization of it. So I think it's pretty cool. The license holders will earn in perpetuity and have the right to use, transfer, and resell their purchase licenses. So you will also be able to sell these validators as well. Well, these validator licenses as well. So this is pretty big. I just wanted to hit on this real quick, because June 30th is only 2 weeks away. So that is why I'm buying more track. So definitely bullish on this.
I heard a video of I don't know if it was a podcast or a space, but it was someone from the track team. It wasn't Benny. Sounded like he had a German accent though, but I could tell Benny's voice, and it wasn't him. And they were just talking about how they were making sense of the pricing breakdown. And they were saying that, the initial stages were cheaper because they were trying to give back to the community to let them have some opportunities to be able to purchase these validators, right? And then as the phases go on, it becomes more and more expensive. And their point that they were trying to make was, at that point, they've already been on calls with large entities like Google and other ones. I can't remember which other ones they mentioned, but that's at that point, those large entities aren't really carrying it as much to put larger amounts of capital in. So that's why the price at that point does go up, because it's geared towards those type of institutions or entities. And so that made more sense to me, of course, but I was also thinking, how are they going to determine who in the community gets the cheaper pricing, right? Like in the beginning, is that going to be like a lottery, or you just have to be
First
quick?
come, first
What do you
serve.
think?
I'm pretty sure it's first come, first serve. Yeah, I think it's going to be round one go, and then round 2 go. But it's for me funny though, because like we kind of know how to snipe over here. So I don't know if that's going to work though. Maybe they're using the token authenticator or whatever it's called, or the token authority. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be pretty exciting. And I think that
Yeah.
people need to realize how much track they're trying to lock up here. And as you mentioned, this is can lock up a good amount of track forever, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could see, a couple 100,000 to 1 million get locked up here potentially forever. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Curious to see what happens. I mean, they were trying to lock up a million track in the last thing, and the public validator. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What they got the 350,000?
I think they got the 450.
Okay,
Yeah.
450. So almost half of that. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting. I know that because this is the first time that we've seen something like this in our ecosystem, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
100%. All right, moving on to yours. So the ARC-20, we finally got some news with this, but the partial token coloring release has been updated to activate now on block height 848484. Let's go. So this is a tweet from the Atomical's Twitter. I gotta dig deeper into what this really is, but I want to put it out there that there is some news now for ARC-20. So partial token coloring. And if anyone can help us out with that, maybe if you're interested in hopping on, kind of explain that to us, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so that's right now we're on block 848191. So we have almost 300 more blocks to go, a little bit less than that, so 200 and something. But yeah, it is exciting to hear something from this ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Because it's been really quiet since Runes came out, and then BRC-20. It's really just been those two to where news has come out at all. So I would love to hear something new with this. It's time.
All right. So end of bear trap, be ready. So this is a tweet from, let me make sure I get the guy's name here. Oh, it's Sensei. He has this guy right here. Yeah, this here. So shout out to him here. He has this amazing chart here. And I was looking at it this morning. You guys know how I like bullish charts, but he's saying that we are in the bear trap of the cycle. So if you come up here, you see a bull trap cycle, right? You go to the peak euphoria and you drip down to bull trap, and then you have one more leg up before it dips down to despair. But here he's saying we're out of the first extreme, and now we're in the bear trap. And the next one is renewed optimism, and then FOMO, and then euphoria. So this is, I think, is the next year of our lives here, guys. And I think right now we are in this bear trap mode. What do you think of this chart?
It makes sense if you look at the past cycles, and it's during this time period, right? But that also means that we could still go down, to 60,000, 55,000. But you got to be okay with that because you know what's going to happen. I was talking to someone yesterday at my brother's house that dabbles lightly in crypto, and I try to explain the 4-year cycle and how when you're in it every day, you understand the timing of the market much more clearly. And he was like, well, what if this is the top at 69 thousand or 70, wherever it went to, 74,000? And I said, if this is the top, then it breaks a stock to flow model chart that has been consistent for the past 12 years, really. You know what I mean? And so it would just look very like it would look like such an anomaly if those red dots were to continue going down on that chart, right? And the only thing I told him that could do that would be like nuclear war or something crazy like that, which has a very, very low percentage chance of happening.
Black swan.
Yeah, I expect if we are kind of in this zone, probably a pullback even more, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I know that we're going to be propelled even further up. Just be patient, because that's what it comes down to in this whole game, man. Being patient and educated to know when the times, match up and stuff.
And I would honestly love to just dip hard instead of the sideways, that bullshit, right? The sideways stuff is way harder And then a dip. I'm used to a dip. You know, you just go away from your computer for a little while, and then you just wait for the bottom to set in, and you're good. That's when you know when to buy. This sideways stuff, you can't like go away because you never know when you're gonna pop out of this, right? So I'm
Mhm.
kind of hoping for a dip down to 40. I mean, that'd be absolutely amazing. I'd be mortgaging my house. We get back down to 40K. I'm not even joking, but it's pretty amazing if
Yeah.
we bounce out of here. So
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people are saying August, right? Because like this
yeah.
could all happen. It's kind of started a little bit. We don't know
Mhm.
if it's going to continue down, but end of June, July, and then everybody's ready for August, it seems.
Yep.
But we'll see.
And this right here would be 74, right? So including this, so this would be like 80, 90K. So we could see
Yeah.
next renewed optimism could be around 80K. And then look at the difference here, this one. So you could see 120, 140. But I just think that it's going to be like very slow. I think, a slow upward movement with a lot of these dips. So you got to be careful when the bull trap comes because I think we're going to get a lot of bear traps in this cycle.
Yeah.
I think this is a little wrong here. I think we're going to get a lot of bear traps, and I could be just insane bullish, but I just think that all the signs are pointing that we're going to get crypto regulation in this country, and then you're going to see companies actually not afraid to build anymore, and you could see crypto become more of a staple here in the United States. So.
Yeah. Well, you are extreme bullish. I don't think there's any doubt about that. but I do think it is important to highlight that bull trap as well because there will be
Yeah,
one, guys. And as we get closer to that, we'll try to highlight that as much as possible because it does nothing lasts forever in terms of finance, right? Like nothing lasts forever, at least like in the short to midterm. Long term, yes, there can be a consistent up only, kind of like how gold
yeah,
was. Bitcoin will follow that trajectory, but for the short and midterm, and especially for the new people, right? Because when they come in, short and midterm matter the most to them, and
yeah.
and when they get wrecked, they either lose, conviction or they're fully bought in somehow. But yeah, so I think we got to pay attention to all parts of it. But right now we are in that section to be excited about, even if price goes down, because we still have all that upside to go to.
I agree. I agree. All right, guys, this is part of the show. We kind of give you the updates on how your tokens are doing, how your bags are doing. So I'll start it off here with the your runes, and then Yagobi will do your C20s. But in the first spot here, we got Dog sitting at 10.65 at a $710 million market cap. Bank had an amazing week last week. I don't know if that continues this week, but I hope so. Sitting at $391 million market cap, sitting kind of flat on the day. R6 Genesis Rune had some tweets today with an 8 ball, and that is why it is up today a little bit, sitting at $175 million market cap. Pups World of Peace sitting at a $113 million market cap. Epic sitting at a $55 million market cap, followed by Lobo the Wolf Pup at a $44 million market cap. Billion Dollar Cat really popping up here at a $37 million market cap in the 8th spot, just past decentralized for the first time, sitting at a $37 million for Billion Dollar Cat and a $36 million for decentralized. Satoshi Nakamoto kind of falling here back to $1.71 at $35 million market cap. Runes X Bitcoin sitting at a $26 million market cap, followed by Wanko Manko Runes, a $12 million market cap. Gob at a $10 million market cap. Zbit Blue Bitcoin sitting at a $9 million market cap, followed by Cook the Mempool, finally minted out, up 7% on today, sitting at $9.6 million market cap. Wango Pangu sitting at 8.9. The Donald Trump sitting at a $6 million market cap at 9.9 sats. And then jumping back down to our man, Mr. Yen, sitting at a $4 million market cap at 19 cents. So shout out Mr. Yen and all the fathers. And that is your runes market update.
Yep. Not a whole lot going on.
Nope.
In really the ecosystems of anything right now
Yeah.
until Bitcoin really pulls back up here. But yeah, let me show the BRC20 market for the past 24 hours on OKX. You can see pizza number one, no surprise there. Volume was $520,000, $118 million market cap. This one has been leading the way the past week and a week or ever since it dropped. Number 2 is Pi, coming in at $134,000 market 24-hour volume. Sorry, $40.83 million market cap. Core is number 3. Core is supposedly a utility play in the modular system. It's $131,000 in total BRC20 volume for the past 24 hours and $27.88 million market cap. So these volumes have increased a little bit here. Maybe the Chinese community got sparked by pizza and stuff like that, but we'll see. Number 4, PIN, PIIN, $61,000 in 24-hour volume. Market cap at 21.34 million. BMB money sign 47,000 in 24-hour volume. $7.54 million market cap. BTCS, this one, man, this one has a pretty strong community. Almost 20,000 holders here. $30,000 in 24-hour volume. $6.37 million market cap. BAMP. I guess this is the one that's been kind of hot the past day and minted out pretty quickly. We had Jack Liu on our show, and he said that his team actually deployed BAMP, but he did say it's officially not a part of the Nakamoto project in that sense, but they did deploy it. And I think when that information got out, people just kind of ran with it. It had $32,000 in 24-hour volume. The market cap is $201,000. And then number 8, AINN, 28,000 in 24-hour volume. Market cap's at 7.84 million. Wizard at number 9. Wizard was in the top for BRC20s for a while. And it's at 17,279. Market cap's at 98 million. And they have SatX here. It's 15,000 in 24-hour volume and 2.1 million. Let's hit some more notable ones. Rats at 12,000 in 24-hour volume, 105 million. Still staying over that $100 million market cap. So that's really good. You got Track at 7,253 in 24-hour volume, $29 million market cap. Goodness, this has dropped for sure. Looks like good entry though, but we'll see. Ordi coming here at number 19. Ordi never does like a lot of volume on the actual, the layer 1 exchanges, Bitcoin's native layer exchanges like Unisat or OKX. They only did 5,642 in 24-hour volume, but the market cap is 1.1 billion, and it has to do a lot with centralized exchanges. So it's kind of made its own, path in that sense. So that's good for Ordi holders. It's kind of done that Doge thing there. I don't see sats on here, which is
no volume for sats.
Yeah, so I don't know if looks like it's no volume for the past 24 hours. What? Crazy. That's crazy. 24-hour volume. Well, it was so low, I guess.
Yeah.
The market cap is goodness, how do I get out of this? It's not looking good for sats, I'll tell you that. Pizza might have really taken it over. So you see here, market cap is 462 million, so it did dip below 500 million. Sats is interesting. It's interesting that it's so cheap, but it might if it goes continually goes lower, it could be a good re-entry if it gets to like 100 something million. Then especially if Unisat does in fact have that modular system with sats being the fee token. But we'll have to see when things get rolled out and how that plays out.
100%. And I'll take you guys over to the digital artifacts, and if you wouldn't mind grabbing the tap stuff, and then I'll jump over here. So the no monkeys sitting at 0.20. Wow, no monkeys are getting killed, bro. What's going on here? Down bad.
What is it?
0.20.
Yeah, everything else is also dumping though.
Yeah, it's true. Bitcoin puppets down 0.137. The rune stones 0.012, still holding up here at 0.01. I'm surprised. Quantum Cat sitting at 0.278, followed by Ordinal Maxibiz at 0.246. Blob sitting at 0.041. The Royals really up about 100% on the week here, sitting at 0.0044. Frux sitting at 0.0092. And I'm glad I got sniped on these because I was trying to buy them at 0.01, I think 7, and I'm glad I got sniped. So thank you for the person who sniped me on those. Darkman sitting at 0.0014. RSIC Meta Protocol sitting at 0.018, followed by the Bitcoin Shrooms at 1.44 Bitcoin. For some reason, these are like one buy a week here, the Shrooms. But followed by the Pizza Ninjas at 0.122. Pizza Ninjas still holding up strong here. I'm surprised by that. I was hoping for a dip back down. I was actually thinking about getting a Pizza Ninja. Frogs really getting beat up here again, sitting at 0.045. And then the bitmaps sitting at 0.0008. It's got, damn, that sucks. And that's not over at 0.001 yet, but I think it will be soon. Natcats sitting at 0.012. Where were the Royals at compared to the Natcat? 0.004. Okay, so the Natcats still have them beat about 3x higher than the Royals. Prometheans sitting at 0.0052, followed by the Bitcoin punks on Bitcoin at 0.249. And the Wizards at 0.144. And that is your digital market recap. What do you think about all that? Do you think that's just a sideways market? That's why.
Yeah, I mean, we're going through a little bit of a boring period. Yeah. So we just kind of go do what we did last time we went through this.
Yeah.
Just buckle down and it will turn back up. So. All right, guys, this is the TAP market update, which isn't very much. This is actually a 7-day volume. Volume on Ordinal's wallet for TAP tokens has really plummeted, in my opinion. I mean, there was like nothing except for TAP DMT NAT in the 24-hour volume. So I pulled up to 7. You can see TAP DMT. I mean, the volume went down 87%. TAP GIB went down 97%. Traverse went down 75%, and TAP Sora went down 97%. So I think that this really, the TAP ecosystem really needs their own exchange to come out, to focus on that, to be able to make it marketable for that. So supposedly that's coming out at the end of this month. We'll see if that happens. Unitap is a big player with that. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out because, this does not look good, right? In terms of attention right now.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I do think that things change though. I think that things change because there's big rollout. Obviously, TAP had the CoinList launch, and then also a lot of things are supposed to be rolled out at the end of this month. They have the ICP partnership. But I really truly think they need a dedicated marketplace. And I do think that helps. When you're just focused really on the TAP tokens, it just makes a big difference.
I agree. I think it comes. Their wallet, their whole infrastructure is coming, and I'm definitely excited for it. So we'll see.
Yep. There's not much to report here, really. You can see the volume, 300 Bitcoin past 7 days is pretty good for TAP DMT. Gib had 71 Bitcoin, so that one is like number 2. Traverse had 1.02 Bitcoin, so that's something that I feel like that's really been more in the spotlight the past couple of weeks. So maybe it will pick back up here, but it is in the top 4 because everybody else has got none, right? So then you have TAP Sora surprisingly at 25 Bitcoin in volume there.
Yeah, man.
Well, that is it.
All right, guys, that ends our show here. But if you guys wouldn't mind going over to ordinalrevolution.com, checking out this website, amazing articles here. We will be in Bitcoin Nashville, and if you're interested in going here, check it out. 21% off the conference tickets. So check that out here. And also, we do have a store, and we recently got a bunch of sales. So thank you to the person who came in and bought a bunch of stuff. So we appreciate you. And so you got some of the best stuff here. Some of our best sellers, and gooses and school bags and stuff like that. So check that out, guys. Send your kids back to school with an Ordinal Revolution school bag in the fall. And I think you want to hit on the partners?
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you check out our partners, Ordinal Hive. They will be launching on Merlin Chain. They're going to be the blur of Bitcoin is what better than the blur, but on Bitcoin. And then you have Fluid Tokens, which just released their decks for runes. Amazing. A lot of our community members have been using it already. I recommend checking it out and adding liquidity, because when you do that, and to add liquidity, by the way, is just creating buy and sell limit orders that makes the liquidity available for swapping. They are tracking points for that. Verothium Dex will be launching also on Merlin Chain very soon. It's going to be your premier Bitcoin layer 1 asset Dex. There's going to be a lot more exciting things coming than that, but that's what their focus is on. And then you have Traverse Labs, which the number one security solution for Bitcoin wallets. And that is it. That wraps up the weekend update, guys. We hope that you got caught up with our updates, and we'll see you guys in the morning.
Yeah. So we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Pacific. So check us out all week. We will be here for you guys, and I'll see you then.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.